I mean, the objective from our point of view was to stay here at home as long as possible, and these measurements and the relationship with the project makes us achieve that. You know, if the technology wasn't there, we would start to panic and probably ring the doctors when there is actually no need. Because she's deteriorated, you start to pick up more illnesses that are out there, like stomach bugs, colds, coughs, and that sort of thing. So in a way, it's more important now as she's deteriorating that you have that support and that confidence of someone behind you, taking these measurements and seeing how well it works. So it does, in terms of your quality of life, it does mean that you can stay at home with more confidence. We went through the normal measurements: blood pressure, temperature, blood oxygen, and the scales. And within about an hour, the team phoned up to say that we think June's got a urine infection. So we phoned the doctor at the Holly Tree surgery. The paramedic came out within an hour, came in with all his blood pressure and everything, did all the measurements again, and then tested the urine, because I saved some of the urine. And he said, yes, she's definitely got a urine infection. So he wrote out a prescription for antibiotics to clear it up. And then within 2 hours, the surgery phoned to say the medication was in, and could someone come pick it up? And she started on the medication at lunchtime. So she went from 9 o'clock in the morning to lunchtime, 9 o'clock in the morning with a urine infection. Within lunchtime, she's got a medication to treat the urine infection, which was brilliant. You know, that is just like, you know, you think, oh, how did that work? That was brilliant. She recently came out of hospital over 11 weeks in hospital. So she had only just been out a few weeks when she actually went down with this urine infection. So it made me feel, you know, relieved, because to have gone back into hospital after I just spent weeks getting her out would have been a nightmare. So we were relieved that she didn't have to go into hospital and it was treated at home. Often with this illness, it would be like at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. So you don't, you know, go to the doctors, you go to A&E. So the majority of times would be later on in the evening, when she'd be really bad, and that's when we would either get an ambulance or go there, take her there ourselves. At one stage we did 5 trips in 5 months, or once a month we were going in there, yeah. Yeah, we haven't been to the A&E since the project started, which is incredible, isn't it? Yeah, it has become easier in that there are more passive measurements than there are me physically having to do it. So we've moved away from some of the things we used to have to do. So it's now limited to the blood pressure, temperature, and the scales, and then everything else is you know, measured without us knowing. So you know, that's good, and the more you can do that, the better it is for June in her condition, that everything is just happening rather than you have to go and instigate it and do it. She's now getting to a stage where you would think the next stage would be to go into a home. And we're saying, no, we can keep June here and myself here as long as possible. So it does enable us to do that. And it does enable us to make decisions on our health, whether is it time now to move into a home? No, we're going to carry on with this scheme, and we're going to carry on with the measurements and working out that she's okay and that she's deteriorating, but she's hanging in there, she's stabilising. And going to a home is the last thing you want your partner to do. It is definitely one of a massive part of it, yeah.